This is Robert Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the MicroCap Conference 2015 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. With me right now is Bruce Benn from Validian, VLDI. Bruce, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you.
So for our audience that may not know the story of Validian, let's get an overview.
Well, essentially, Validian is a software-only cyber technology. We've just completed migrating to mobile over the past couple of years, and it's now done, and we're now the first ones to actually secure the access, retrieval, storage, transfer, receipt of information over mobile devices, web applications, and then the usage of it as well. And then we also have extended that security into the servers, the databases, and even the memory on all of those devices.
So let's get into the technology a little bit further. I watched the demonstration a little bit earlier on how it works, but for our audience, can you explain how the technology works?
Yes, essentially where we apply is on digital information because that's where the value is. It's digital information that makes the value into the mobile devices, into the laptops, desktops, and servers, because without it they'd just be paperweights. So essentially, that digital information is comprised of a data byte, a 00 and a 01, and then into data packets. But it's the very graphic, visual, rich that turns that into that value. It's the content. It's your, even money is now digital, your personal health information. All of that that's in repositories, that's being stored and accessed is of critical importance to the owners of that information. And essentially, we've taken cybersecurity technologies, encryption algorithms that encrypt the authentication, etc., and we apply it to that byte, and we've got different results. And the essential part of it right now is that's enabled us to extend security to mobile, wired and wireless, whereas prior, those technologies were invented in the early 90s, and then the smartphone didn't even get created until 2007, and it didn't really take off until 2010. And we're the first ones that have been able to figure it out.
So based on the demonstration that I saw, that was real quick, but it packed a lot, yes. I saw that they were able to change the encryption as well as the and the algorithm, the encryption and the algorithm in order to make sure that everybody was on the same network. And from what I understand, that couldn't be done before.
Cannot be done. Those are called in the industry either information or crypto policies. And essentially, to encrypt, you need to use an algorithm as a protocol. And there's about 26 of them that are 90% of the market. And until Validian, they suffer from what's called the pick one syndrome. You have to pick one, you have to code it. It takes 6 months to 2 years to integrate it. You have to be a cybersecurity experience. But if you want to change it, it took the U.S. banking industry 11 months and $100 million to do it. And what we're able to do is as opposed to just pick one, we give you all 26 algorithms. We give you your randomly generated key changes so that nothing is stored. And it enables that we have basically a server piece here, but enables an enterprise or government or the end user to change that algorithm on the fly, basically, and it automatically then reappears or at that mobile device or on the hardware, such as your desktop or your laptop. Right? And at this stage, we do it in a second as opposed to 6 months to 2 years. This has huge value. We also, these other crypto technologies have not been able to secure peer-to-peer. Now, peer-to-peer has been around since the 1990s, BitTorrent. It's had a bad name, but it has major advantages because you're able to reduce your costs significantly. Enterprises can save hundreds of millions of dollars by eliminating or reducing the number of servers, the hardware infrastructure, the territory, the real estate that it takes to house them, the ongoing service of it. We have the benefit that we're not just adding security, we're either increasing the revenues or reducing costs. This is a huge factor to an enterprise.
So on the news every day, we always see a new major corporation getting hacked for their emails or other types of important information. How does what Validian is developing combat that?
Well, essentially, let's assume that the large enterprises and the governments are very sophisticated, they have the financial resources, and they have the best cybersecurity that's available. And yet we are reading every day. All right, there are hacks, whether it's health information, whether it's on servers, government servers, countries are hacking countries, enterprises are hacking enterprises. The hackers, for monetary, they're stealing billions of dollars out of the banking system. The fact is that the existing cybersecurity technologies are very important. They're brilliant. And they probably are saving $10 trillion worth of damage that would be occurring if they didn't exist. But there's over $1 trillion of damage that they're not capable of handling. And that's what you're reading about. We have specifically architected and designed ourselves in order to prevent that area. So we're picking a niche that is not covered by either cybersecurities at this time, and it's very important to understand that we fit seamlessly and very quickly with those existing security infrastructures.
Okay, so you're saying that your technology helps prevent the hack in the first place. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Essentially, Validian authenticates the application that is responsible for accessing the information, storing, retrieving, and transferring it. By authenticating that application means that no one can access or communicate with it unless it's pre-authenticated. So you're prevented. You can't do it. A lot of technologies allow it, and then they try to intercept. That's called detection. We're in the prevention side. Right? So by Validian enabling, you prevent that hack from happening in the first place. We also prevent unauthorized access by people who aren't inside for malicious or improper means.
And where was the technology developed?
In Ottawa, Canada, which is the high-tech capital of Canada. It's also one of the security capitals of the world. There's a tremendous amount of engineering talent that came out of a lot of it out of the Nortel labs and the Bell labs that have been located up there. It's evolved out of the telecommunications industry. So the people that are working on this have a lot of experience in cybersecurity to begin with.
So where's the company currently at this moment?
Essentially, we've been in stealth mode. All right, we're on the OTCQB, but we've had our heads down in our labs as we've been migrating to mobile. We've finished the migration to the mobile in the summertime. We have been deploying it with our channel partners who have been testing it, and now we're in the process here where we're receiving orders and we're rolling out commercially.
And what's your background?
Well, multifaceted. I took math and some computer science as well as economics in an undergrad. But Ottawa itself evolved out of the military area into high-tech. It's one of the areas that high-tech evolved from first. So being in that particular category, I've experience of about 30 years from a variety of high-tech companies moving through. But our team, so CTOs, et cetera, they're all from IBM, from Sun, and from Nortel. So a lot of experience to begin with in this area. But we're moving into a new technology. And it's moving so fast. So we have channel partners that are in the cutting edge level of these evolutions in both the web application areas, the mobile, and the devices. So it's really a collaborative team approach here that's enabled us to achieve what we've done.
How does Validian's technology differentiate itself from what's currently out there? Maybe also giving it an example of how it differentiates with one of the verticals you're going after.
I'll compare it to two sectors. The first of all is the cybersecurity area of what we'll call intrusion detection, malware, or threat protection software. These basically, even monitoring and analytical tools, when data is in transit, it transfers as a data packet, and they basically analyze those data packets. And they're very, very specialized. So they're antiviruses analyzing for a virus, malware for malware, and they're analyzing it for what they can recognize. And then when they recognize something, they take a particular course of action. But that data packet's already left. We have taken the cybersecurity that we deal with, which is the encryption algorithms and the keys and the compression, and we apply it directly to the data byte and the data packet before it even moves. And that has given us different results. So we're achieving a completely different solution here than what those have even been designed to do. Essentially, we are securing that data byte, whether it's at rest, when it is in transit, and regardless of where it's at rest and where it's in transit. Now, the other area to compare is, it's called SSL, TLS, and PGP, and you can look up the various crypto protocols. Those were created in 1990 to 1995, and they weren't. The mobile world didn't exist then, and so they've had a lot of difficulty in extending it to apply into the mobile area. In a lot of cases, they just hard code one algorithm, but they're losing all the areas that we can cover. And then you get into areas that aren't even dealing with cybersecurity. If you can't communicate, who cares whether it's secure or not? right? We deal with roaming issues and addressing issues and how it drop calls. All these issues that you have to deal with on mobile devices that have just made the world a lot more complicated than a stationary server.
So where can our audience go and find more information about Validian?
Well, first of all, we're traded under VLDI on the OTCQB. And then secondly, we have a website at www.validian.com.
This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the MicroCap Conference 2015 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Again, with me is Bruce Benn from Validian, VLDI. Bruce, thank you again for coming on to SNNLive.